A teen with disabilities reportedly detained by ICE outside of an LA school. Put it up. Horrific story. 15-year-old child with disabilities detained by our federal government, ICE, outside of an LA school. And it appears to be a case of mistaken identity. Los Angeles Unified School District. Leaders are calling for limits on immigration enforcement near campuses after a 15-year-old child with disabilities was pulled from a car, handcuffed, and briefly detained outside of Arleta High School on Monday, and what officials describe as a case of mistaken identity. So the incident happened around 9:30 a.m. This was on a Monday, days before more than 500,000 LAUSD students returned to classrooms, according to the superintendent. The student, who attends San Fernando High School, had gone to Arleta High with his grandmother to accompany a relative who was registering for class. While the family member was inside, multiple officers approached their vehicle, telling them they were not with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. However, when they reviewed the data, the information, the district superintendent said the video appeared to show both police and border personnel. Now, you may wonder, well, why is that a distinction? The distinction is there because ICE will utilize local law enforcement for the prerequisite interaction in order to not violate constitutional rule. Basically, it's a manipulation of the law. It is an intentional workaround of the rules that govern our democracy. And there are many police agencies, there are many sheriff's departments who flat out refuse to do this with ICE. And there are others who simply are willing to. It is a violation of the public trust, no matter who you are. ICE is a separate agency with separate requirements for the engagement. Do not allow them to create liabilities for your local community because they rather use your officers. And when something happens, a lawsuit or something like this, where you can guarantee a lawsuit is coming, when something happens, your local jurisdiction is on the hook. All right. So the child was removed from the car, placed in handcuffs. The superintendent says, quote, as our students return to school, we are calling on every community partner to help ensure that classrooms remain places of learning and belonging. Children have been through enough. From the pandemic to natural disasters, they should not have to carry the added weight of fear when walking through their school gates. Now keep up the superintendent. If you have an elected official who's not willing to speak at least as boldly as that superintendent, you need to get a new person to support. The teen was eventually released after school staff and Los Angeles police intervened. Quote, the release will not release him from what he experienced, the superintendent said. The trauma will linger. It will not cease. It is unacceptable, not only in our community, but anywhere in America. Soon after the incident, the parents received a recorded voice message from the principal saying, quote, we are aware of reports of immigration enforcement activity in the area near our campus. Our school has not been contacted by any federal agency. Okay? You see the cycle? You remember this in the 60s? When police officers with police dogs, K9, would go to schools. Back then, the prerequisite was, well, forced integration is legal. We're not going to allow this to happen in our city. Back then, the argument was against Black children Now, the argument is against brown children. The argument is really for their power. They are simply on a power grab. And the more power they grab and the more silent you are, the more close they get to you. And all of a sudden, it is your door being kicked in. It is your child being arrested. But see, the monster only gets to this level if you feed it. If you stop feeding it, it goes away. And that's it. And that's the part they don't want you to remember. They don't want you to know that it, meaning their power, it can't survive without you. All right.